All right, my little cinema chickens. Tonight we are reviewing Chud, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers, the movie that made going underground into the sewers less appealing, in my opinion. I don't know what the appeal was the first time. And also, if I'm being honest, which I always am, I think it started those rumors about giant lizard people living under the ground. It's possible, let me know. It's one of my favorite conspiracies. Also, the one about how Queen Elizabeth thinks she's a dragon. But I digress. This movie was produced in 1984 for $1.2 million, had a box office hit, a return of 4 times, 4.5 million, and was also a fan favorite at the Brussels Film Festival. It stars John, God damn it, I forgot his name. John Hurd. He had great performances on The Sopranos. Sorry, I'm not going to edit that out. Just have to deal with it. And Daniel Stone, who, if you're a big fan of Home Alone, you will recognize his face. Anyway, let's take a look at that opening scene, shall we? I know what you're thinking. God, that scene was horrifying. A wedge with a kitten heel? What were they thinking? Well, anyway, back to the story. John Hurd plays a fashion photographer who takes a sabbatical because he wants to be relevant and ends up doing an expose on people who live in the streets, and especially those who live under them.
Or if you'd like to leave one, wait for the beep.
Now, John Hurd plays Cooper, and Cooper's just moved in with his girl. Tonight, chickens, we are studying Chud, the film that made going into the sewers scary. Yes, before this movie came out, people spent no time in sewers unless they absolutely had to and had nowhere else to go. But it is a 1984 favorite of mine. It got chucked up on the air. Girlfriend Lauren, who is a model, and she's blackmailed him, so to speak, to come back to the fashion industry for one final shoot. But he's a little resentful, if I'm being honest.
Tony, give me 2 more stops in that back light.
Photo session, he receives a call from Mrs. Monroe, who was one of the homeless people that he shot, along with her brother, Victor, and Hugo, as one of the underground dwellers. She needs his help. But will he help? Only time will tell.
Cooper, you son of a bitch. I'm in jail. I only get one phone call. You think I want to talk to some goddamn fucking machine?
Now, our second hero of the night is played by Christopher Curry, who plays Captain Bosch. He's the one in charge of the sector where all the people have disappeared from. And he's just been given more news. God, this is awful. This turned out to be the worst review ever.
A.J. Shepard. Wonder if that's the guy I busted 5 years ago.
It's not an official report.
What is it? Underground?
Captain Bosch meets with AJ, who runs a soup kitchen for the homeless and the underground dwellers. Let's see what they have to say.
I know that people live underground.
Bosch is upstairs talking with AJ, and AJ's just told him that 12 of his underground dwellers had been missing. Meanwhile, Cooper, a photographer, has found Mrs. Monroe at the police station. She's been out looking for a gun, but she couldn't find one, so she settled for bandages. And she's leading Cooper down to meet with her brother. And then this is where the big reveal happens. Or sort of. Don't know. But wait and see. I might have oversold it a
What do
bit.
you want a gun for, Victor?
Shoot them.
Shoot who?
Ugly fuckers.
What ugly fuckers?
I know, I am stunned with the screen dialogue, along with you. This is me being shocked by the poignantness of that last scene. However, we must move on. Our next scene involves Captain Bosch revealing an interpersonal, bringing it all together for AJ as to why he's so invested in finding whatever is making all these people disappear.
My wife.
All right?
AJ, motivated by Bosch's reveal, it was his wife that was wearing the wedge with the kitten heel. Did that rhyme? Let's check again. But anyway, AJ takes pity on Captain Bosch and takes him underground to show him some of the things that he's found.
NRC. You know what this is? This thing detects accumulated radiation.
Bosch, who's now motivated by AJ's reveal of what he found in the underground sewer system, calls in the captain and also the head of the NRC, Wilson. He's a very integral part of this story. You could say he's a bit of a bad guy. Accent change, I know.
Call the commissioner's office and tell him we're coming there at 12 o'clock sharp.
Oh, and tell him to have someone from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission with him.
In the next scene, this is what we call a character reveal. We'll have a character reveal by AJ, what's motivating him. And then we have a reveal by the NRC guy, sorry, spitting out words, a reveal of what he's been hiding. It's a bit much, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, but this is what we call it. Character reveal. Pay attention. Accent check again. Oh God, I must have a disease.
You saw it. You saw the monster.
Is that what you're going to tell the paper? But that you're afraid of monsters?
So a couple of plot twist. AJ and Bosch skip over to Cooper's house and steal all his photos by breaking and entering and stealing. That's a mouthful. Also, Wilson has inadvertently gassed one of the underground dwellers. By mistake or on purpose. You know, it's a governmental agency. It could go either way. And Murphy, who is a reporter who I didn't clip and put in this movie, sorry Murphy, has run into Cooper and said, you know, really I need your help by going underground again and talking to me about the underground dwellers. He initially says no, but then once he gets home, he's a bit motivated.
On the northbound side.
Motivated by his stolen photos, he gives Murphy a call and says, yeah, I'll go down there with you.
I'll meet you on the northbound side of Chambers Street Station in about a half hour.
Meanwhile, Bosch has told AJ that they're gassing the undergrounders, and he goes down to try to save Val, who's also an undergrounder, who you see in the movie, but I didn't clip him, I'm sorry. There's just not enough time. Don't blame me. I'm just poor creator trying to make it here. Accent change, my God, I need to see it.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
Alright, so AJ is underground, trying to save an underground dweller, but isn't able to. Unfortunately, Val succumbs to a head wound. And I did after all, did cut Murphy into the movie, but you don't see very much of him. He kind of has a short lifespan. Maybe next time, Murphy. AJ, inadvertently locked underground on purpose by a government official. A very strange scene. It looks like the undergrounders, it looks like they're having a little bit of church. Two of our three heroes are having a really bad day. Yes, Cooper is underground after witnessing Murphy being taken. AJ's locked underground, witnessing the underground dwellers having some form of church service. And Bosch, unfortunately, is above ground, but news doesn't get any better for him. Take a look.
My God, it's his wife! Get him out of there! Come on, come on!
I just clipped this scene because I thought it reminded me of me and my friend Myra. At her time, after the double door, we'd go to the Waffle House and, well, the guy who gets up and leaves is exactly what Myra would do. Damn her. John Goodman, and he actually looks really, really good here. Of course, he plays a misogynistic, overbearing asshat, but besides that, great job, John.
I've been asking for it all my life.
Meanwhile, Cooper makes it back to Victor, but things don't go according to plan. So Cooper shoots Victor, then is accosted by Mrs. Monroe, and then AJ finds this scuffle going on underground, comes to the rescue. Then they lurk along the way in the sewers and come across some slightly decapitated, mutilated government officials. But good news here, they have found a camera and a working headset, so, you know, half full, half empty.
Is anybody there?
Get Captain Bob.
Mourning his beloved wife's demise, and Cooper and AJ have been fighting off the underdwellers underground. Lauren's just been all by her lonesome up in the apartment, but she's not about to be left out. She has her first encounter, and boy, does she give as good as she gets. A woman has a way with a knife, I will say that. But it's So Lauren fights off the underground dweller, manages to steal a police car. Bosch knows about the gassing that's going to be done by Wilson and makes contact with AJ and Cooper and makes arrangements to pick them up from a manhole cover. This is going to go really well. I can feel it right here, right in my feelings. Bosch finally confronts Wilson, the evil government worker, about his NRC activities, and makes a move to save Cooper and AJ, who will just...
You take toxic sludge from every research project, and you dump it right here into the streets of our city.
Manages to get to AJ and Cooper just in time, but Wilson's not going down without a fight. In the final scene, it all comes out in a blaze of glory. You don't really reconcile the plot and what happens to underground dwellers and all the radioactive waste. But it's asking for logic. Do you know the longer these videos go on, the worse my hair looks? I think it's the Illuminati. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with the final scene. We don't have resolution of the radioactive waste. We don't have any attempts to save the underground dwellers. I guess they just get gassed, whether they are a chud or not chud. So, you know, whatever. And here's the happy ending.
Gosh.
Here's a lot.
Bosh.